even when I said with Joffy, you know, they be top tiger, be like but he was that before. Any blood circuit, any of that. Like they had already appointed him that. Because they just viewed him that way.
Oh, so when circulated,
they started hearing names like who's really going crazy in Queens. So they came in the building, they came and got me, and I brought mines along. Banks came, Banks, J.O. Who else was there?
When you're the leader of your actual crew and you actually leading them in a different, it can get uncomfortable when someone else comes around and they view him as the lead. Like, you the big homie, and then I come and they go, oh, the big homie.
You already know the GUnit story. 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, Tony Yale, and Young Buck took over the game like a storm. But there's one name that never gets the attention it deserves. Trust me, this guy is no small player. We're talking about one of the most feared and untouchable names in 50's inner circle, JP Top Tiger.
Yeah, everybody's here, but yo, Joffy, tell you, chill out. Because he already made you the guy, I'm going to tell you. I said, chill out. Instead of talking to them directly, because I know that they're already listening.
If you're a real GUnit fan, you know 50 Cent had some serious people with him when things got heated on the streets. But out of everyone, Jappy's name really stood out. He wasn't just another guy in the crew. He was a 150 call when things got real. Some even said Jappy was 50's main shooter, the one who handled the darkest, most dangerous job behind the scenes. Now, years later, 50 is finally talking about it, dropping hints about why Jappy, aka Top Tiger, still carries that same respect and moves like a ghost with power.
That was just my 18 Banks peoples right here that he came up with. Take on the road, you know what I'm saying?
JPY wasn't just rolling with GUnit. His street reputation ran much deeper. This man had real gang connections, a savage past, and street credentials so solid that even 50 Cent had to keep his guard up around him. And if you thought 50 was the toughest in the crew, just wait till you hear why he never pushed JPY's limits. Today, we're diving straight into the dark legend of JPY, aka Top Tiger, his secret role in GUnit, the street rumors about what he actually did behind closed doors, and why the man who took 9 bullets still respects and maybe even fears JPY. Let's get into it.
I'm 8 in 24 hours. I'm 8. I went to jail last night. I guess I went to jail last night. And I turned 8 that fast. You is impeccable with this computer. This that nigga doing with this computer nowadays is hilarious. Joff just got locked up. He ate too. Shout out to the apes though. I f the apes. Know my body though.
JPY, whose real name is Jesse Brown, isn't your typical street figure. People in the game say he's well connected, not just with GUnit. Word on the street is that he's heavily involved with one of the most feared gangs, the Mac Baller Brims. This crew isn't just loud, they're dangerous. The Mac Ballers are a powerful gang from the Bronx, known for their strong influence, deep ties to guns, drugs, and raw street power. Even law enforcement knows about them. One source even called them the top dogs in the city, with more soldiers, more rank, and more firepower than any other Brim set out there.
Well, like I told you, me and Banks, we school at school time. Like, August Small, those are like I knew him for years. I knew Banks a long time. I mean, that's my man. That's my brother for real. Like all of is my bro. They all family. Like, but with me and Banks, we had a close relationship.
The Mac Ballers are organized, ruthless, and quick to get violent. Other gangs stay on high alert whenever they roll through. This isn't just local street drama. They're a key part of the National Bloods network. They control a significant portion of New York's underworld and have deep influence over Rikers Island, handling contraband, controlling inmate fates, and pulling strings from behind the scenes. The Mac Baller family runs it all from their base in the Morrisania section of the Bronx, but their reach extends across Brooklyn, Staten Island, upstate New York, and even into New Jersey. This isn't just a gang. It's an underground empire.
Getting even into the unit, you know what I mean? Like, you knew Fifth beforehand? Or?
Yeah, I knew Banks and them. Banks, Al, Halim and all them, because we all went to school. We all went to school together.
Okay.
Like, I used to come with the August Martin and terrorize. Like, so they was always, I was never with it. Like, Al and them, they was never like,
I used to be going crazy. Like, we used to be for LB Fam at that time. Like, we beef with the world.
LB
like,
Fam was everything.
We was something like, where we from? Like, we went against everything on that side. When it came to Baisley, Rochdale, they was all against us.
Because y'all was together.
Yeah, and we was just like us. We was only, it wasn't too many of us. It was a lot of them. They used to team up. Shit used to be crazy back then until we start. After a while, I think we might have been the first ones playing with them. But we ain't gonna speak on that. But
thank you.
But we started going crazy.
Yeah.
Once we start going crazy, that's when the names start going crazy. Oh no, Westside Merc, what's her name?
It was the beat up era still. Like,
it was still hands. It was still hands and feet.
They knew that we was. So they came and got me. Word.
Oh, so when circulated,
they started hearing names like who's really going crazy in Queens. So like they came in the building, they came and got me, and I brought mines along. Banks came, Banks, J.O. Who else was there? It was a bunch of them.
So how did they speak? Like, yo, we gonna start something?
The gang's origins go back to Larry Okalone, a Bronx native with a long criminal history, now facing life in prison for some serious charges. His right-hand man, Kyle Lean, also known as a Godfather, was a lower-ranking boss who turned the operation into a ruthless, well-oiled machine. Running alongside him was Eli Blood Rios, who's also doing life for a different crime. These guys weren't just gang members. They ran their operations like a full-fledged mafia. JPY and his crew had everything locked down, both the streets and the prison system. Every move they made, from violence to loyalty test to strategy, was calculated. They called the shots like real bosses. Even cops and feds don't dispute it. They straight up called them the undisputed kings of the gang world in NYC, with more muscle than any other Brim set out there.
It was a barbecue I had when I came home from jail, if you probably know when all that shit happened. Mm-hmm. They saying GUnit barbecue and all that pistol packing. You don't remember that happened?
Somebody
his neck.
He got paralyzed.
Basically, that was my barbecue. I came home from jail, they threw me barbecue. It was crazy.
Why you got sued for it?
Because it was my barbecue. Right. It was my...
They got paralyzed, sued you?
Sued me and my mother.
No, stop.
So my mother got to pay for something that my friends caused, like that's hurtful, and nobody helped me.
Right.
We got friends out here this day that don't post shit. How many friends you know never post nothing you did that you grow with?
A lot.
Thank you. I got the same. I got a friend with that right now. Don't do. I'm taking with me. Hell no. You gonna stay right there when I go. You don't show the same love I show.
This set wasn't playing around. Their discipline was strict, their tactics savage, and their reach massive. Other gangs didn't just respect them. They straight up feared them. Public records say they have around 525 members, but insiders claim the real number is much higher. They move quietly but have a deep presence. At some point, the Mac Ballers broke away from the large New York Brim Alliance and built their own operation, tight and well organized. They run two main divisions: the Money Unit, which handles stacking cash, laundering funds, and making deals, and the Enforcement Unit, which takes care of anyone who steps out of line. Yeah, it's that real.
Some things, but it went wrong because it's probably me and him being who we are, but you probably got people in your crew that feel a certain way. I might have people in my crew that feel a certain way, and that's how that shit be clashing with the two, because we both two bosses, so you know how this shit might go. He might have people that be like, yo man, fuck them niggas, fuck, and I might have niggas like, man, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Situations happen. People choose sides. I felt I'm sticking with the side that I've been with. I've been around Fifth and them. Smurf ain't bring me aboard. I and them bought me aboard. Weezy and them bought me aboard, but he still was family. Me, I done slept in Smurf mama crib. I done gave that nigga money. We done share shit. He done gave me guns. Like you know what I'm saying? He was family, nigga. Once I'm locked in, we locked in. But shit just went side.
Now let's bring it back to JPY, aka Top Tiger. He's been rolling with the Mac Ballers for years. But at one point, there were rumors that JPY had switched sides to join the Gorilla Stone Bloods, aka the Apes, another dangerous crew with major influence across the country. But Jappy quickly shut those rumors down. No switching sides, no confusion. He made it clear where his loyalty stood. So how did Jappy end up linking up with 50 Cent? It all goes back to Lloyd Banks. Banks and JPY had a history, going way back to school days. Banks rolled up to the towers with his own people to connect Jappy with the GUnit movement and see if he was down to roll with them. From the moment JPY stepped into the GUnit scene, the vibe changed. He wasn't just another recruit. He had a serious presence. He didn't talk much, but when he did, everyone listened. Even 50 picked up on it. JPY wasn't there for the fame or to flex on social media. He moved in silence like a ghost, but his reputation spoke louder than any track 50 ever dropped. Behind the scenes, whispers started circulating. JPY wasn't just around for protection. He was handling things no one else could, situations that needed a firm hand. Street beefs, security issues, internal drama. He took care of all of it off the radar. That kind of loyalty and grit is why 50 kept him close. Some even say that when 50 found himself in high-stakes situations, it was JPY who made sure things didn't go left. No cameras, no spotlight, just cold strategy. He was the one who made people think twice before coming for 50. While fans focus on the music, the chains, and the beefs, JPY was a shadow keeping everything in check. There's even a rumored incident where a rival crew tried to press 50 at a private event. Before it could escalate, JPY had already positioned himself between the threat and 50. No words, just a stare, and just like that, the problem vanished. That's the kind of energy JPY brought. No hype, no clout, just raw presence that made the room freeze. But for all the loyalty and work he put in, he stayed off the radar like a pro. No flashy interviews, no name dropping, no tell-all stories.
He cut me in my sleep and shit. Yeah, that ain't about nothing.
Damn.
You know, you don't see no scar on my face, right? He ain't do a good job. I got cut though. Not on my face. That's where they really try to cut me up. They try to cut my face and my neck up. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I made it out that motherfucker though. I made it out that motherfucker. Yeah, you know how it go. This is gangster shit, man. This is shit we signed up for. Yeah, but ain't no honor in that. I don't respect how they did it. They got me cut in my sleep. That's them for me getting one of their homies cut in the yard. Cause one of the niggas that took a hit on me wound up in the same jail. Yeah. So I seen him in jail. I got him touched. You know? But I did my shit with honor. I got him touched on his feet. Yeah. Them niggas ran up in my sleep.
While other guys chased the spotlight, JPY stayed low-key, building his legend in the shadows. That's what made him different. He didn't need fame. His name alone was enough to make people take notice. Even within GUnit, not everyone was comfortable with how close 50 kept him. Some felt threatened. Others didn't understand why 50 trusted a guy who barely spoke and never played the industry game. But that was the point. JPY wasn't there for music. He was there for order, for control. And 50 knew exactly what kind of storm JPY could bring if pushed too far. At one point, there were rumors that JPY had a hand in taking care of certain music industry snakes who tried to mess with GUnit's business. Nothing was confirmed, but the stories were loud. And every time someone tried to dig deeper, doors would close and people would go silent. That's when you know it's real. JPY had that kind of presence. He could walk through a crowded room and make the loudest people fall silent. No yelling, no threats, just that heavy energy that made it clear he wasn't someone to test. And somehow, 50 always seemed more at ease when JPY was around. Protected, like he could focus on being the mogul, while JPY handled the streets.
Part 2 of Joffy Top Tiger, the most dangerous man in hip-hop.
Believe this, but like even when I said with Joffy, you know, they be top tiger, be like but he was that before. Any blood any of that. Like he was already, they had already appointed him that. Because they just viewed him that. Right. And it was in the same age group. I didn't understand it, but I was like, nah, that's just how it is. And I left it. I didn't just leave it like that.
JPY eventually linked up with 50 Cent. And just like that, he banged Smuff, and the rest of the crew were rolling tight under the GUnit banner. At the time, JPY was living in the notorious American Towers, a spot known for real street heat. That's where 50's crew pulled up. Lloyd Banks, Wheezy, and a few more GUnit heads came through to bring Jappy into the fold. According to Jappy, they came to him. He didn't chase the fame. They saw the value in him, made the first move, and gave him that golden ticket into GUnit. But don't get it twisted. JPY wasn't just some background guy. He was right there in the mix, moving with 50, touring across cities, recording tracks, and living that real GUnit lifestyle. But like many street legends, the ride didn't stay smooth. In the early 2000s, things took a sharp turn. JPY got caught up in a situation and ended up doing a year at Rikers Island for attempted assault. When he came home, he tried to celebrate with a simple barbecue, just wanted to vibe, eat, and breathe some freedom. But that celebration turned into straight chaos. The barbecue became a war zone. Multiple people got injured, and tragically, an 18-year-old kid caught a bullet to the neck, leaving him paralyzed. He later passed away from complications.
I told you, my block starts from 134 and ends at 137. So two niggas shooting at me from 137 side. So I backed up by the phone booth, because there's a phone booth right here in our hood, in front of the store. So I backed up by the phone booth like, yo, who the fuck these niggas shooting at? Because remember, I told you, there's other people on the block too. So everybody's scattering. But I still want to know who these niggas shooting at. And they shooting nines. And if you're in the firing range, you know a 9 ain't gonna make it past no 50 yards, no 30 yards. We in the firing range. I'm like, what? You ain't gonna hit nobody down here shooting from that.
The whole situation was heartbreaking and wild at the same time. Even though 50 Cent wasn't anywhere near the party, his name still got dragged into the mess. Why? Because JPY and Lloyd Banks were there, and that was enough for lawyers to swing in. GUnit Enterprises, GUnit Records, and GUnit Touring all got hit with a heavy lawsuit filed by the young man before he passed. But as if that wasn't enough drama, JPY started beefing with Bang M. Smuff, one of the people he came into the unit with. Loyalty started cracking, and things behind the scenes got messy. JPY felt like Smuff wasn't staying loyal to 50, and in his eyes, Smuff had chosen the wrong side. That tension almost turned deadly. Not long after, Smuff ended up behind bars, caught in the fallout from that loyalty split. But riding for 50 came with a heavy price. JPY nearly lost his life. He got hit 5 times, and rumors still swirl that the man behind the hit was none other than Jimmy Henchman, the same guy tied to some of the most dangerous beefs in hip-hop history. That kind of heat, only the real ones survive. Through all the highs and lows, one thing stayed solid: JPY's loyalty to 50 Cent. Not once did it waver. Even after doing time, dodging bullets, and surviving the messy politics of the game, JPY stayed 10 toes down. That bond with 50? Unbreakable. You still see them together today. On stage, in the studio, or just chilling in the cut. That brotherhood runs deep. JPY's story shows what real loyalty looks like in hip-hop and the streets. His name might not be on every headline, but make no mistake, his legacy is locked in with the rise of GUnit. The quiet soldier, the shadow behind the spotlight, the one who never folded. But now it's your turn. What do you think about JPY's ride or die loyalty to 50? Everything you went through, was it worth it? Would you have stood tall the same way? Drop a comment below and let us know what's on your mind. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. We've got more heat on the way. See you in the next one.